Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Tuesday, April the 21st. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local market is set to defy global markets and open higher with ASX futures up around 0.5%. Equity markets faltered and oil prices surged overnight on fears that the US-Iran ceasefire will collapse, although Iran said it is considering attending peace talks with the United States in Pakistan. Stocks on Wall Street came under pressure ahead of the 2-week ceasefire deadline, which expires on Thursday. The CBOE Volatility Index gained after falling for the past 8 sessions. In company news, Apple named insider John Ternus as its next chief executive. Will take over from Tim Cook as the iPhone maker gears up for an industry change spurred by AI. Ternus has recently overseen the company's hardware engineering efforts, and Cook will become the company's executive chairman. Amazon is investing an additional $5 billion in Anthropic, with a plan to expand that investment to as much as $20 billion over time. Anthropic, which makes the Claude chatbot, plans to spend more than $100 billion over the next 10 years on Amazon's cloud technologies and chips. Elsewhere, Meta snapped a 9-session winning streak. Netflix fell to be down around 12% since announcing its quarterly results and departure of co-founder last week. Adobe rose as it announced a set of AI agents that aim to help corporate customers automate digital marketing and other functions. Shares of US energy companies tracked crude prices higher, while gold stocks tracked the bullion price lower. And copper prices fell on ceasefire doubts, taking US-listed shares of BHP and Rio Tinto lower. Well, Iran says it's considering attending peace talks with the United States in Pakistan. However, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that continued violations of the ceasefire by the US are a major obstacle to continuing the diplomatic process. President Trump said it's highly unlikely he would extend the 2-week ceasefire with Iran, which expires on Thursday, if a deal is not reached before it ends, and that the Strait of Hormuz would remain blocked until an agreement is finalised. And President Trump has said he believes a nuclear deal with the US is currently negotiating with Iran will be better than a 2015 international agreement to curb its nuclear program, saying the deal that we are making with Iran will be far better. Well, Kevin Warsh, President Trump's nominee to lead the Federal Reserve, will tell his Senate confirmation hearing on Tuesday that he is committed to ensuring that the conduct of monetary policy remains strictly independent. That's according to prepared remarks he released, and went on to say inflation is a choice and the Fed must take responsibility for it. Warsh has repeatedly criticised Fed policymakers for blaming the post-pandemic burst of inflation on supply shocks. Well, US Treasury rates were little changed. The US 10-year at 4.25%, the 2-year at 3.71. Australian 3-year bond yields fell to 4.6%. The 10-year was down to 4.95%. The US dollar index little change. The Aussie is currently trading at 71.8 US cents. Oil prices jumped around 6% on uncertainty over peace talks between the US and Iran. Brent crude futures settled at around $95 a barrel. Gold fell to a 1-week low before recovering slightly to be around $4,820 an ounce. Copper's down 1%, iron ore up 1% to 109 US a tonne, and Bitcoin is trading close to 76,000 US dollars. Today we get quarterly updates from Atlas Arteria, Hub 24 and Linus Rare Earths. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.